This is Fun Across America. This week, we're back in sunny Orlando, Florida, visiting Dezerland Park, Florida's largest indoor attraction. There's over 800,000 square feet of thrills and fun, so we'd better get started.
Sebastian, thank you so much for having us out. This building is absolutely incredible. I can honestly say I've never seen anything like it. I'm sure there's not much anything like this in the world.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I think this is the only place where you can cover the entire set of activities that we have in one roof, 800,000 square feet, cars, go-karts, bowling, arcade, trampoline park, axe throwing, some shooting, food, and more activities that are coming soon.
Cool. So how did this place come to be? There's, probably a story behind that.
There's a story. There were two previous shopping malls that unfortunately did not succeed. And my partner, Michael Dezer, purchased the entire building to create a space. And he called me, he invited me to do the arcade. All my expertise after so many years that I have running the entertainment industry, and I will say to be conservative, 42 years doing this.
How long has it been here?
We opened December 2020, middle of the pandemic.
The best place to start, I guess. It's all up from there.
Yeah.
So what's the typical person that's coming in here?
We aim for families. That's my goal. Families with grandpa, the grandchildren, and the entire family. They have something to do. Yeah. Kids can race. Adults can go into the museum. They can have a good time eating food here. We have several options.
As much as my stomach wanted to head straight to the food, we had an auto museum to see first.
And now we are at the Orlando Auto Museum of Dezerland Park with my friend Corey, and he's going to show us around and show us some of the coolest cars that they have here.
The longest car in the world. So this is basically a great big limousine. This was built by J. Olberg in the 80s. And back then he had the original title of world's longest car. It was 100 feet long.
Okay.
We have since restored the car and we added an extra 1.5 inches, breaking the previous record. Yep, just like that much, just that little bit. She can drive. Everybody's always worried about whether or not it can drive.
Yeah.
It can drive. It had to in order to get the record. And it features 26 wheels. It's got a swimming pool. It's got a putting green. And you can also land a helicopter on the back of it, like normal people do.
Excuse me, what was the original, why was it originally made?
It was just originally made to be the longest car.
Longest car, okay. So that was
Got to break that Guinness Book of World Records record. And just you wait, we have things that you probably have seen, but never thought to see in person.
All right.
So you think the car collection is one thing? If you look behind you, you'll see we have antique fire extinguishers. Over in our next room, we have a collection of antique barber shop equipment. This is our 30s room. So we got barbershop equipment, we've got art and lithographs all over the place that you can find. And then we continue on, here's yet another collection upon collections. This is our boat room. We have it labeled as Welcome to the 1940s, but I don't remember there being a major flood in the 40s. But one thing that you will see we have a collection of is outboard motors.
I was still getting my sea legs on Corey's tour, and I had to know which part of the museum was his favorite.
Entering in here, this is the first room of the Cars of the Stars. In this room, you've got 50-50 original Screen Use stuff with those two cars. And then the other 50% are replicas or stand-ins.
Our tour continued through a labyrinth of famous cars from some of the biggest movies of all time. This place was sure to make both a movie buff and a car fanatic feel right at home. Next up on our tour was a vehicle from one of my favorite films, Ghostbusters.
Now I'm just gonna start by saying it's not the Screen Used Ecto one. That one sits safely on the Sony lot most of the time over in California. This was a recreation. As far as I've been told, it was made for a charity auction benefiting a cancer research fund. You can't have a better backstory than that for a car.
But not only does Dezerland have an impressive collection of cars, they've also got an entire wing dedicated to Bond, James Bond.
Welcome to the Bond Museum. We have almost everything in here that you see is screen used, with the exception of, I think, 3 or 4 pieces. One of the most important pieces we have, one of the most expensive pieces we have is we have the Aston Martin DB5 here from Goldfinger that has all of the props on it, like the retractable machine guns. You got the changing license plate in the front. The controls on the inside. We got the tire destroyer on the side over here. The bulletproof panel that pops up. The oil slicks in the back. You name it, it's got it. This is the quintessential James Bond car. This is the screen used one.
All of this espionage was making me hungry, so I headed back to ask Sebastian what was on the menu for lunch.
What are some of the food spots here, and what are some of maybe the best dishes that you have to offer?
We have the Bond Museum and the Bond Experience there that offers their own restaurant. So you have burgers, pizzas, hot dogs, chicken wings, fingers. Then we have on the food side, a burger corner, the French side, some pizza, some Mexican food. More activities on the food side are coming soon.
With a space like this, I'm sure you have people in here all the time. What do you do anything for with the community, whether it be events or charitable work?
We help schools to come here with very heavily discounted prices when they cannot afford to spend money. Then we make activities with car communities. They like to display their cars and how they spend money on the cars. Sometimes they spend more money on accessories than the actual cost of the car. And it's absolutely amazing.
So that was Dezerland. I'm pretty sure we saw all 800,000 square feet of it. I will see you at the next place. And hey, don't forget to subscribe so you can catch every single one of our episodes and hit the bell just so you don't miss it. Thanks.